I will not be pushed, filed, stamped, indexed, briefed, debriefed, or numbered. My life is my own.
How's it going, everybody? Well, I wanted to talk today about just finding stuff out in the woods or in your own backyard. And I've, of course, loved plants, and I love talking about my garden and the things I've grown in the past. But I just want folks to know that there are so many things that you can collect in your own backyard, in your own area and neighborhood that are not just valuable. I mean, you can sell them, and you, if it's something that's your passion, you can get together and, you know, collect mushrooms. Or my brother and I were younger, we collected owl pellets from the owl's regurgitated remains, and we would sell those to a company that sold them to schools. There is always somebody who will buy things. There's even people who collect and sell pine cones. But it's very difficult, of course, to get into some of these markets, and it's more complicated to really find the passion for one specific item or whatnot. But what I really wanted to say is more for personal use. I mean, if you grow a variety of, you know, smelly herbs on your property, you know, for example, I just wanted to bring a couple of these because I grow a few different types of sage, and so what I do is I dry them out, hang them up, and make, you know, this is like 3 different kinds of sage. You can use it to burn or, you know, whatever. And then the flowers as well. Preserve the flowers separately. They can be used to make a tea or smoking blends, a whole bunch of different things. And sometimes you don't do anything with them. They're just fun to collect. But like I've shown in the past, I collect the ghost flower, which turns black after it's dried from white. It's an interesting contrast. And of course tobacco that I've grown. And when I'm out in the woods, I like to collect things like this, shelf fungus. You know, I don't take too many, but I use them for my jewelry and whatnot. And the list goes on and on and on. So if you're interested in that kind of stuff, I'm just trying to inspire or urge you to look into your local plants, look into what you have in your local area. And seasonally, of course, different types of mushrooms grow, and whether you like edibles or psychedelics, one or the other, most of them grow in most places. You just have to know what you're looking for. So, beyond that, this is what I wanted to talk about here as my final kind of gesture. This is like probably my best metal detecting find, and that's not saying much because I have not used my metal detector much. I bought it a few years back, probably 2 or 3 years ago. Maybe more. And my intention was to go look for, you know, hidden treasure, lost jewelry, whatever. And I don't take it very many places. I've learned, you know, we go camping, but I don't want to look around campgrounds. You just find bottle caps and junk. Even when you have it on the jewelry setting, you tend to come up with a lot of crap. And it's also illegal in a lot of places, certain state parks and national parks, to use metal detectors. So, and I don't go to the beach that often. So, without boring you with the details, it's been sitting in my school bus, you know, all the trips we go on, the metal detector's always hanging up on a little rack. And so we went on the trip to Montana, and my son and I, and when we got to like our final camp spot that we stayed at, it was like the second day, and we had been walking up and down this dry creek bed, gorgeous rocks, and it was really an interesting place because you could tell that there's probably a small trickle of water way down below the rocks, but these are all glacial deposits or moraines, which are huge, just rock deposits. All the rocks had been, you know, carried in by glaciers, so this stream could still be under there, but it was keeping some of the plants around the area nice and moist, but the rocks themselves were dry, and the whole creek bed was dry. So the day we were going to leave, or the day before, I decided to grab my metal detector, and we were going to go down and look at this giant rock of quartz my son found to see if there was any detection of gold in it, because I've always been fascinated with gold detecting. I took the thing down into the creek bed, and I had just gone back and forth maybe 3 or 4 times. I mean, I just got down there, and all of a sudden I hit something. I'm like, oh, weird. And after moving the metal detector across, if you know how they work, you can kind of pinpoint an area so it'll get stronger so you know where to dig. And I noticed that it wasn't that wide, but it was long, and I thought, what could that be? Maybe an old car part or something. This is out in Montana in the hills. There's not a lot of stuff. It's a very natural area. And so I started to dig. I started to pull rocks aside. I ended up digging down probably, I don't know, I have a video of it, which is awesome because after I dug down about, I don't know, 6-7 inches of rocks and you know, good sized rocks, which meant it had been there a while, I saw this handle. There's this handle sticking out, and I was like, oh my god, are you kidding me? And I pulled it out and made this joke about being Excalibur and the sword in the stone, you know. And at the time I thought that's pretty awesome, a pretty awesome find, but I didn't really think of just how awesome it really was. Out in the middle of nowhere to find something like that, just by chance. It's almost like it was calling to me. And so this is, after of course looking closer, and I haven't polished it yet, it's got a lot of ruts and pits. I thought at first it might have been there a couple of years. Now I'm thinking it might be there a lot longer. I'm not sure how long. It's very difficult to tell depending on how much that area floods, how much, you know, rain it gets. But it's a Colombian machete. It's a 12-inch machete. These ones say in Colima, S.A. Colombia, and this is number 127. There were several different models made. And this is the Seriri model, and it has a picture of a eagle on there with, or actually, looks like a hawk or a dove, hard to tell. It says Seriri below it. Now some of these were standard machetes carried by Colombian soldiers. And you know, some of them were used in Panama as well. This is the Seriri model. There's also another one, I think it's the Galvana or something, but those are like a 21-inch machete. And I looked these up, and these are actually collector's items from the 60s. I mean, not that this particular one is going to be worth anything. I mean, a nice one's maybe worth $100, but that's not the point. The point is, it got me really thinking about how long this thing has been there. And the more I look at the pitting on the blade, the more curious I am about how fast it's oxidized. These were made from some really high quality metal. The handle is plastic on it. Some of them were made from bone. I guess there were certain custom ones made, probably for the soldiers or the officers or whatnot. I'm not sure. I looked them up, and all that matters to me is, does it hold an edge? And that's a damn good machete. It holds a really nice edge. I actually have 2 of these. The other one I didn't, until I found that and realized those are collectors, I didn't really realize the other Colombian one's worth anything. Wait, is that it? Oh yeah. So, yeah, looks like here's another one, and this one's in pretty good shape. And this is the Gavilan model, yeah, with the eagle. Okay, so I guess I've got the 21-inch machete too. I didn't know they were the same brand. But just finding something like that is pretty awesome, and I just had to share, you know. It's just such a cool find. Maybe I'll put this video together with the find, and so I can show you the point where I actually found it. Beyond that, I just wanted to really just say, get out and find stuff. It's fun. Sometimes you don't find anything. My oldest son is out. He's been really into fishing since we went out in Montana. He really wants to catch fish, but we know that fishing is waiting, and he knows that too. It's a very difficult thing. You're out there, you're looking to fish, but your real intention is to enjoy yourself, right? And hopefully it can be the same way with looking for plants or metal detecting, because metal detecting can yield you nothing for long periods of time. Anyhow, those are just my thoughts for Saturday afternoon. Take care. Have a wonderful day. Talk to you soon. Okay, we're metal detecting, and it turns out I am Excalibur. I didn't know this.
That is so cool.
What a find.
Dude, fucking A.
It's the best metal detecting find I've ever made.
Yeah.
Cool. And we continue on.
Definitely.
Thanks for coming to Carpo's channel, yo.